you remember a few months back had this person who hung on a chopper that
James Bond.
Yeah, and was famously referred to as James Bond. Now we have James Bond Meru edition. Raila Odinga was in Meru County yesterday, and he flew there on a chopper, and we have photos of another man who actually hung on Raila Odinga's chopper. So it's not. Do we have the video? Yes, if we have the video, kindly play that so that we see what happened. Yes.
Tatu in Igembe Central. As the dust gathers under the propeller rotors, a man suddenly jumps on the landing gears, him too ready for takeoff. It is a scene that leaves the residents gathered in shock and awe, their efforts to capture the pilot or his passengers' attention bearing no fruit. But as if enjoying the ride, the unidentified man gets a good grip, sits comfortably on the landing gears, and begins to wave. His stunt unknown if a distress call or a goodbye wave to the bewildered onlookers. According to the area police chief Jane Nyakiroma, police were caught unaware after the man jumped into the helicopter that was taking off. Sources, however, indicate that the pilot landed the chopper shortly after and the man disembarked with minor injuries. The incident reminiscent of a similar stunt pulled by a man in Bungoma County who hung on a helicopter carrying the remains of city businessman Jacob Juma.
Now, of course, we're going to see a lot of that, because now every politician has a chopper moving from one place to another, and I don't know what to say about this, because surely it's no longer because people thought it's something that happens in certain parts of this country. It happened in Bungoma, now we're seeing it in Meru, so it's a phenomenon that traverses ethnic boundaries. Let's move on from that.
We've got to know the psychology of people. The moment we beam these things out there and glorify them, it becomes almost like a heroic deed. So even as we are reporting it, we need to vilify such actions, yes. not to make this guy a hero, because the moment Kenyans see that it's a heroic act, you'll see many more.
Because that guy, I think that chopper moved a longer distance than the case in Bungoma. I think because the pilot could not see.
And you can see he had already seen that, because now this one positions himself very well. He's ready for a long ride.
Fred, you know, I blame it on the gap between the poor and the rich. Those who can manage any kind of service against those who can't. And I remember when we opened our airstrip at Homa Bay in Kabunde, and the first 540 plane landed there. If you remember the things people were talking about, I'm going to sell my grass thatched house so that I can board a plane once in a lifetime. I'm going to sell all my cows, all my bulls. That is what it is speaking for to me. That is not to say that we should accept this situation. It can cause death. And I think there must be a way in which we secure, planes and artifacts that in their use, people can.
Especially now during campaigns, because every politician has a chopper now.
You have said that statement again, and you're not even blinking. Every politician has a chopper.
Sure you will land in Makueni on a chopper during campaigns for the election.
That is not the same thing as every politician has a chopper.
To fly in.
Yeah, but this is a very serious issue. What if you are beaming this video and this man fell? It's like the video of that lady who was giving birth that was run even on your station. Let me tell you, some of these things are not even something to laugh about. They're serious. But Kaluma is right, that there should be a security perimeter so that people don't do these sort of things. In fact, your reporter says the chopper landed and the man got off with minor injuries. How did he, if he landed, how did he get off with minor injuries? But ask yourself how a chopper lands and this fellow is still hanging on to it and it lands safely. What if this man causes an accident and the leaders who are in that chopper pass away? Some of these things, as Kiari says, should not even receive the headlines. This fellow should be in court for doing so. Then it should not happen.
But we should also see it broader as we're going into the elections. There's a thing that we have in Kenya where we almost suspend all laws going into elections, and bigger than even hanging on to choppers and and dangling dangerously on politicians' cars is the whole issue of...
that one is normal.
It looks normal. It has come to be accepted as normal. But
normal.
think of what we're just about to witness within what you'd call party headquarters, when certificates are being issued, and the clamor for certificates. And I've been a victim of that once. And when it happens, it almost looks like the law has been suspended. Political violence is not seen as a crime in this country. It goes unpunished. So I think here is a cry by a nation that whether we are doing politics or not, at no one time should we suspend our laws so that we give leeway to such occurrences.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, away from that, there's a very interesting story is on the front page of the Standard. It has to do with cancer, and it's a cancer bill that each Kenyan must read. It says the cancer treatment becomes part of primary health care, meaning government must provide for all patients. This is a bill. I think it's the National Assembly. It's still being worked on, but the proposals include pushing for training of more cancer specialists to narrow the ratio. It's advocating for telemedicine to allow those in remote areas to get medical help through digital channels. This is a very interesting bill that each and every Kenyan should read and probably push your member of parliament to try and support, because cancer is a big issue in the country right now. We will not discuss that much, but
there's something to be said about this bill.
Okay.
And I'm glad we've got a member of parliament here. I think cancer has become a big issue. You know the number of harambes you have to go.